of Fame. Now, remember, Baines and Lee Smith get in by this Today's Game era committee, a 16-member panel appointed by the Hall of Fame to review players retired for at least 15 seasons who didn't get in the Hall of Fame, as well as managers, umpires, executives. They could have turned around and put George Steinbrenner in. That would have made, you know what, would have made some sense, would have been controversial, would have been a lot of fun. You could make an argument both ways. Let me tell you something. Neither Baines nor Smith ever got close to getting in. Why? Because they're not Hall of Famers. That's why. You know why they didn't get in? Because they don't belong in Hall of Fame. So what do we decide? Because somebody's a good guy, and Harold Baines might be a wonderful guy. I think, if I remember right, everyone used to always say he was. Nice guy, nice hitter. 280, 20 homers, 25 homers, knocking 85 runs. Okay, great. That's not the Hall of Fame. There's a million guys like that. Hey, you know what? I love Bernie Williams. He's a wonderful player, had a great career. Everyone in this town loves him. He's not a Hall of Famer. Paul O'Neill's not a Hall of Famer. Those guys, they're better playing than Harold Baines. Much better players. They're not Hall of Famers. You're in the Hall of Fame because you were a dominant player. You were great over a period of time. Or tremendously consistent over a long period of time. And you did show flashes of greatness at some time. Lou Piniella almost got in this vote, which, all right, as a manager, Lou Piniella's a terrific manager. But here's the deal. What is the purpose of this committee anyway? To make sure we got somebody at the Hall of Fame celebration. That's what it's about. So what does these guys do? They basically take guys. Okay? Look at his headline. Smith Baines in the Hall of Fame. Premier closer. Okay? Yeah. 6-time All-Star. He played 22 years. 6-time All-Star. He barely knew what an All-Star game was. 6-time All-Star. Played 22 years, 6-time All-Star. 6-time All-Star doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame. I mean, this doesn't even, let's be honest. These guys, they're not even close. These guys go to Hall of Fame same way we do. They buy a ticket. I mean, come on. I mean, they're not. I mean, listen, any way you slice it, these guys are not Hall of Fame. Smith was a good reliever. Was he a great reliever? He had a couple of really good years, but I don't think he was I'm really tough when it comes to Hall of Fame, I admit it. But Smith wouldn't get in on my vote. And Baines, what are we talking about here? The guy played 22 years. He's a slugger. He had 380 home runs. Do you know the guys who aren't in the Hall of Fame who Richie Allen blew Harold Baines away. He doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. He was dominant when he was on his game. Dominant. All right, come on, George Bell. The guy was 41-30 for 10 straight years. He can't get near the Hall of Fame. Come on. This is just unbelievable. 384 home runs in 22 seasons. Wasn't really expecting it, said Baines. Very grateful. Hey, he's a nice man. I hope that my kids are proud of their dad today. He's a wonderful man. It's not the point. I'm not trying to rain on his parade, but it doesn't make any sense why you have this committee to put people in who, on their best day, okay, the most that Smith ever got was 50%. So he got 50%. Do you know the highest total that Baines ever got in 1 year? And he's in the Hall of Fame now. Do you know the highest vote total he ever got? 6%. 6%. He never got to double digits. And he's in the Hall of Fame. Why have these guys go through this? If you want to put just good guys in the Hall of Fame, go ahead. And just say, listen, these guys are a good guy. I'm putting them in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Why is he in the Hall of Fame? Because he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good career. He's a good guy. Got it. He's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, come on. I mean, what are you going to put on his plaque? Didn't stink. He's not. Listen, I hate to say this about Baines. He isn't even good enough to be a compiler. He's a level below the compiler. The compiler at least has a couple of years that are representative. This guy never, ever hit 30 home runs. This guy never knocked in, he did knock in 100 runs 3 times in 22 years. He never scored 100 runs. He's a lifetime 280-something hitter. I'm sorry. There are guys who were so much better who are never going to sniff the Hall of Fame. What I don't even know how could he come up in the conversation? Based on what are you basing it on? I mean, I'm trying to be honest here. What would you possibly base it on? And it's unfair to him because you know what? Around the country today, everybody's doing the same thing to him here. You know, and now unfortunately, you got him ripped all over the country. Everyone's killing Howard Baines. He didn't deserve this. He had a nice career. I'd take his baseball career in a minute. I'd be proud as heck walk around having that baseball career, man. I would have loved to play 22 years in the major leagues and hit 380 home runs, man. I think I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I admit that. But you know what? I wouldn't think I belong in the Hall of Fame. And I don't think Harold thought he belonged in the Hall of Fame. I don't think Harold still thinks he belongs in the Hall of Fame. That isn't how he got in. But what are you doing to the regular voters to turn it into a mockery? They never gave the guy 10% of the vote. He gets in the Hall of Fame. And let's be honest, the old Veterans Committee put some of their buddies in who didn't belong in the Hall of Fame for years. They did that. Hey, it's not gonna bother me. You know, I'm not gonna be upset because they're in the Hall of Fame. But I just don't get the premise of what this committee is trying to do. How could they look at the voters? Are you basically saying that the voters didn't know what they were doing? When the guy never got 6% of the vote? Fell off the ballot because you needed 5% or more to stay on the ballot? Fell off the ballot almost 4 years in, he fell off the ballot because he didn't get his requisite 5%. And you guys put him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, I just don't. I don't even understand what the premise is. And unfortunately, now everywhere you're getting Harold Baines killed everywhere. People are, taking his career apart, and it's obviously not a Hall of Fame career. Sad. And it's not even his fault. I'm not even blaming him. It's not like he was fighting for it. Heck, I didn't want to put Biggio in. The guys in Jersey wanted to kill me because I didn't want to put Biggio in. I mean, Biggio is Honus Wagner compared to Baines. Dan in Connecticut, what's up, Dan?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I couldn't really agree more with you here. I didn't really watch these guys play, but looking at their numbers, I don't understand how they got in.
Well, there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, listen, Smith is a reach. Baines is a mistake. I mean, yeah. Smith got 50% of the vote. He was a representative candidate. I admit that. I wouldn't have voted for him, but he's a representative candidate. Baines no offense, he's the kind of guy who comes and goes and is on the ballot for like 2 years and is gone.
Yeah, and I was just wondering if maybe a silver lining is some other guys that should be in the Hall of Fame maybe get reconsidered.
Like who?
Like Jim McCormick.
Oh, I mean, what year is Jim McCormick?
Well, he played in the 1870s.
Yeah, I can't. You gotta stop. Stop, Dan. I mean, tell me about. Did you watch him play? Tell me what kind of player was he?
Well, his numbers are really
I mean,
good.
come on. Stop with the 100 guys. I mean, give me a break, huh?
1878.
Please. I mean, come on now.
214 losses.
Yeah, get a life. Jim McCormick. Howard in Queens. What's up, Howard?
Hey, hi Mike. How are you doing?
Good. What's up?
The Mets really need a real motor, but they don't have the pieces for it. What if some other teams get involved in the three-way trade, like the Yankees?
No, the Yankees and Mets aren't going to be involved in a trade, Howard. Come on now, please. Ryan in Monroe. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Mike.
What's happening?
Listen, this is you got a bottle of Grey Goose, and someone just filled it halfway with water. It's a huge mistake.
I don't know what the I don't know what the purpose is of doing this.
Now, listen, you got to put Larry Walker in. The guy had better stats than
wait, you can't. Listen, you can't put everybody in who has better stats than Harold Baines. I mean, you're gonna have to put 50 guys in.
What do we? Well, I understand now, but what does this do? What does this do?
It's a one-time aberration, I guess.
If I'm in the Hall of Fame, I'm like, yeah, great. He's a nice guy, and I'm sure guys liked him in the clubhouse, and he's known for being a good guy. But I'm looking at my other buddy who's wearing the jacket. I'm like, this guy does not belong in here. And you're right. What are you going to put on his plaque? I mean,
doesn't stink.
The guy played for a couple teams, or he was a great White Sox. I mean, put him in the White Sox Hall of Fame.
I don't even know if he'd make the White Sox Hall of Fame.
I don't even think he is either. I mean, you got Albert Bell sitting there because you got guys like John Heyman. He's a nice guy,
listen.
He doesn't want.
Albert Bell is not about John Heyman. Albert Bell, you know what? Should have acted better. He's his own worst enemy. It's not about John. It's not John's fault. You know what? He ticked off a lot of people, not just one guy. Albert Bell did a lot of rotten things. He should have thought better of it. But this one, I mean, there should be some kind of protocol where before a guy could even be considered, he would have had to get 50 to 60% of the vote minimum. Harold Baines got 6% of the vote on his best year. I mean, it's such an outrageous oversight. It's such an outrageous decision. It's so bad. You feel like there must be something you're missing because it's so bad. Like Harold actually invented baseball, and we didn't know it. Joey in the Bronx, what's up, Joey?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good,
Mike, as soon as I heard this last night, I said I'm going to call you because I knew you would feel the same way. With that said...
Everybody feels the same way.
Yeah. With that said, I'm going to give you a guy now, and you tell me if this guy is a candidate. He won 2 World Series.
No,
he had 11
just give me the
gloves.
guy. Just give me the guy. Who are we talking about?
Pete Hernandez.
No, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, here's
he's
my
not
argument.
a Hall of Famer.
He was an MVP, 11 Gold Gloves, 2 World Championships, batted 300, was the best player.
No, he's not a lifetime 300 hitter.
He was close.
No, he's not. He's not a lifetime. He's not a lifetime 300 hitter. Don't make him one. He's not a lifetime. You got guys in there like Bill Madlock, won 3 batting titles, hit 312. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Defensively,
first base is not a position you're going to get in the Hall of Fame without your bat. It's not. Keith's got to go up against guys like Willie Stargell. He's got to go up against Willie McCovey. He's got to go up at first base, where the prototypical Hall of Famer at first base. Now, if you're gonna be Keith and not hit home runs, then you got to be Rod Carew. Then you got to be Wade Boggs. You got to be Fisher. You got to be one or the other. You got to be 330 or you got to be 500 home runs. You can't be. What did Keith hit? What was my lifetime? 296. Okay, that's not going to cut it when you got guys hitting 315 who aren't in there.
Yeah, but I think you got to add the defense.
Yeah, the defense is not going to get you in at first.
Today,
it's not going to get. It's not going to get you in at first base. It's not. It's not going to get you in. Not when you're going up against Willie McCovey. Willie Stargell. Gil Hodges isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but we're putting it in the context of this decision. Right?
Wait a second. Wait, no. That's not fair. If you were going to put it in the context of Harold Baines, 100 guys are getting in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Well, that's why now this is not going to be a free for all now because Harold Baines got in.
I don't disagree.
Well,
but
then
now
listen. Well, now everybody ever wanted to get in gets in. It's a free pass. It's the Baines pass. Everybody gets in now. If all you got to do now to get in is be better than Harold Baines, everybody's getting in the Hall of Fame. Paul in Bayonne, what's up, Paul?
Hi, Mike. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I can't agree with you more like everybody else. Harold Baines was a good player, but you don't even have 3,000 hits. Dale Murphy and Dick Allen belong in there before he
Dale
does.
Murphy won 2 MVPs. I mean, come on.
Sir.
Why would even bring him up? I'm not even bringing up guys like that. Rocco in Freehold. What's up, Rocco?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking the call, man.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% with
well, there's no argument. I mean, there's nothing to even argue.
If Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame, Don Mattingly should be in the Hall of Fame.
Everybody's in the Hall of Fame if he's in.
It's crazy. But one thing with the Mets, Mike, not to cut you off with the Harold Baines discussion, the Mets, don't you think it's better that they would probably save the pieces to maybe get Corey Kluber instead of going after Real Muto? And then maybe signing a defensive catcher like Maldonado? Wouldn't that be better served?
No. Oh, wait a second. What pieces are getting you Kluber?
Nimmo, Rosario, and one of their top prospects.
Who else? Who's the other guy?
Maybe Jimenez. I'm not sure.
I don't think the Mets have the ability to get Kluber. And let me ask you this: why would the Mets want Kluber unless they're trading Syndergaard? Why would they want him?
Why not stack Syndergaard, DeGrom, Kluber, and Matz? Because
you haven't fixed the rest of the team.
So you think it's just better to go after the Real Muto?
Balance. They need everyday players. If they have DeGrom, Wheeler, Syndergaard, Matz, Gesellman, Lugo, a closer, and then add a couple of relievers, they don't need to go get Kluber. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't do it. The only reason I get Kluber if I'm the Mets is if I was... And if I'm the Indians, am I taking Kluber if I got someone like the Yankees or Fernando? Who's on the Mets has got that kind of prospect? Bobby in Staten Island. What's up, Bobby?
Mike, how are you, buddy?
Good. What's happening?
So in regards to the whole Baines thing, first off, you're right. Then you got to put in the Garvey.
Somebody explained to me how I don't even know what to say about Baines being in. I don't even know how it even came up in the discussion.
There's nothing to say about that. I think everyone agrees with you on this, Mike. The one guy that I think this just highlights it because I think on his own merit deserves to be in is Fred McGriff. 493 home runs. Maybe he retired a little bit short or whatnot. 493. Okay. It's
well. Listen, I can give you a lot of. I can give you guys who are. There are guys who were 12-time All-Stars who were not in. He was a 6-time All-Star. There are guys who, Steve Garvey. My God, Steve Garvey.
I'm with you.
As a player compared to him, Richie Allen. Yes, Fred McGriff. I can go down the line. If Harold Baines is in, everybody's in. Brian and Wayne, what's up, Brian?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
What's happening?
Mike, the Harold Baines thing. As a man, if I didn't get in by the votes the first time, I couldn't accept something like this. Harold wanted to do the right thing.
Would.
You should just say,
yes, you would.
What's that?
Yes, you would. If they have a veterans committee, you're going to accept it if they offer it to you.
Yeah. Mike, if you know you're not a Hall of Fame player, you can accept an award that you really don't deserve. That's kind of hard to do. At least for me. Maybe I'm wrong. But can I ask you a question about the Steelers? I'm a Steeler fan, Mike. I mean, can you just explain to me what is the problem with this team? Like, they have been stuck in like this like rut for the last few years now, and I think it's like a reflection of their coach.
I said to a couple of the Steeler fans who call 6 weeks ago that I didn't like this team. I told people I didn't like this team. This team bothered me. I think it's a team that will always find a way to self-destruct. I think it's a team that never comes up big on defense when it has to. Like yesterday again, like the San Diego game again. It never does. The bottom line is I just think that there's something missing on defense. You want to blame it on the Shazier thing? Go ahead. They haven't been the same on defense since their legendary defensive coordinator left, number one. Number two, I do think that the head coach has become kind of head-scratching at times. Number three, I think Ben's halfway out the door. I really believe that. Sometimes he plays great. Sometimes he's up there in the ozone. Rick in Morristown. What's up, Rick?
You know, if they're really going to get Harold Baines in, why don't they put in Chico Escuela from the Mets?
Well, I mean, I think Baines was a little better than Chico was, but I get the idea. But maybe he was a little better than Chico. Joe and Clark, what's up, Joe?
What's up, Mike? The Hall of Fame voting thing, what a farce. I mean, Mike, when you mentioned Garvey, I think you guys like Dave Parker, who, my God, way better than
Oh, that's
Baines.
not even worth discussing.
I mean, Gil Hodges. I mean, and you said Matlock. I think Matlock won 4 batting titles, not 3. If you look it up.
Yeah, well, he might have.
I mean,
he's like a lifetime 312 hitter. There are so many guys that, and I don't think they're Hall of Famers. Richie Allen. Do you know how dominant Richie Allen was? I mean, he had years that were unbelievable. Phillies, White Sox. I mean, the guy was unbelievable. I don't get it. Gerard in Englishtown. What's up, Gerard?
Hey, Mike. What's going on?
What's happening?
Hey, listen. I'm a Jets fan, so this is kind of a neutral game for me. But I was watching, the Cowboys-Eagles game yesterday. And my family's all Cowboys fans. So a couple of the calls, they were upset with the Ezekiel, where he got a penalty for lowering his head.
Yeah, I thought that was a rough penalty at that point of the game. Very tough.
And then the Gregory, I mean, he grabbed him by the ankles.
That was a tough call, too. But also, the call on the tight end, giving him offensive pass interference, was a terrible call.
For the Eagles.
That should have been a touchdown. That was a terrible call.
So the beef is with the rules committee, though, because by the NFL book, the referees made the right call. You can't tackle a guy lower than the knees, and you can't. But I mean, this is crazy. So
that rule. I mean, he was holding. He wasn't even like he was holding onto his leg to hold on to him. I mean, to me, that's just there has to be a common sense involved where the referee can look at it and just know that he's not trying to injure the player, that he's just trying to make a tackle. Gregory, to his defense, and he's always in the middle of the mess, was trying to make a tackle. The Ezekiel Elliott one. He did lead with the helmet. If you want to get textbook about that one, I had not seen that one called a lot. I had not seen it called on an offensive player a lot. They said it's been called, I think they said it's been called 14 times. I have not seen it in a game till yesterday. I don't know if anybody else had. I had not seen an offensive ball carrier called for helmet-to-helmet contact on the initiating it on the offensive side. I had not seen that yet. So they said it's been called 14 different times. I had not seen it in the game I was watching, not one time. So I don't know where they got 14 from, but I sure haven't seen one. But they said it was. I thought that was a rough call, really did. And then the call against the tight end, calling a pass interference, that was at the top of the route. That was, I mean, come on, that was incidental contact at the top of the route. No way is that pass interference. I mean, that should have been a touchdown. And how have you ever seen a defense just fall apart after being so dominant as the Cowboy defense? All of a sudden, they couldn't get it. They couldn't get a play stopped. After just shutting them down completely for 30 minutes, they couldn't get almost 40 minutes. They couldn't get a play stopped in the fourth quarter. Every play almost went for a touchdown. It was crazy. Ben in Albany, what's up, Ben?
Hi, Mike. Same subject. I've been a Dallas fan 50 years, but I do watch other games. The guy up in the booth, I mean, the kickoff, the tight end, the Gregory thing, the Lawrence thing. Why don't they have a guy up in the booth and he sees something obvious like that?
Listen, you can't have the game, Ben, go for 10 hours. That's why. I mean, we're gonna have them review every penalty. I mean, we're gonna be there forever. You're going to put 20 minutes on the game as it is now. Some of these calls now are ridiculous in length, how long it takes them to review these calls. Absolutely crazy, especially when they're trying to spot it on. They're trying to find a distance to spot it on, or they want to know where to put the ball back or what yard line. It takes them forever. It takes them 15 minutes to do it. Back after this.